What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You got Addy here.
As you can see, Ham's not here today. Had a little last-minute emergency.
He decided to drop out because Arsenal lost.
But yeah, it's all good. He'll be back next week anyway. I'm sure he's not going to miss next week with the Liverpool and United game. Firstly, before we start, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this with friends and family, and all the good stuff. This will be a quick episode because Hammer's not here, and just myself and Ada. This is pretty much going to be like our phone conversation yesterday because we talked for like 20-30 minutes yesterday after the game. What we do, we might as well get straight to it. So we start with like United's week because if you could recall last week
We played Copenhagen.
and then we lost to Newcastle.
And then we lost to Newcastle. Yeah, that's
So
correct.
then,
That's correct.
I think the question was when I think I was complaining about them not working hard, and I think you guys' question was, what gave you hope?
Yeah, why did you expect
Why
them
did you
to in the
expect-
first place? Yeah.
So like it was more because, as I said, they worked hard in the Galatasaray game, and I thought, you know what, they're gonna carry that on.
It looked like we did. Yeah.
It looked like and they played well, so I thought they was gonna carry that on.
Yeah.
So fast forward to Chelsea, we did exactly the same thing. We played well, we won a game. I think for me personally, I think that's the best I've seen them play.
Yeah.
In terms of like chances we created, we totally like dominated the whole game.
We pretty much dominated. Obviously, Chelsea had their chances, but
And
we
then-
dominated the game.
The best player I thought in that game, for me was Arabat. And then, but going into Saturday's game, this time around I've learnt my lesson. So I wasn't expecting much. I can't lie, I wasn't expecting much. I was thinking, look, I looked at the table, I thought, despite how bad we've been,
We're still up and about there.
we're still up and about. How the hell are we still? This is before Spurs play today, right? Level of points with Spurs. We was like 3 points behind City. It was just something crazy. London. So I was just thinking, how the hell is this happening? I'm thinking, imagine if we won today, like where would we be? Because we've got like hard fixtures coming up. So I think onto the end of the year, this is our easiest fixture. Yes, you would have thought yesterday was our easiest fixture. On paper, that was the easiest fixture. So I thought, okay, cool, we'll see. Bear in mind, I still didn't have any hope. And I was watching the game. 5 minutes gone, Solanke scored. I think, there we go again. But the thing is, it looks good because you feel like they're trying, but the end product is poor. Because every time, like, the build-up play, I think what we complained about a lot of the times was the build-up play, right? And it actually looked good in the build-up play. But then once they get to the final...
The end product in terms of the assist or the finish is just lacking.
Natural dribbles past 2-3 to find the right pass was a problem. Vice versa on the other side of the pitch with Anthony as well. It was just we just weren't creating chances.
Yeah, and I think what you just highlighted, right? It's even when we are doing something right, the other departments still let us down. I think it's the same thing you say, but it's when the build-up play is correct, they can't finish. Because I think there was one of the Champions League games where we had so many chances, but they just couldn't finish, or hit their shin, or so. If the defense is playing well, the midfield will mess it up. The strike, it just is what it is. We're a shambles of a club right now.
Yeah, so it was just that was the game yesterday. I'm not surprised, no. I'm and that's just the honest truth.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all. Did I think we were capable of beating Bournemouth? Of course. But for me, it's damning because I'm not gonna lie, that's not that. Although I'm not surprised, but it is damning because if Bournemouth can come to Old Trafford and score 3, man, it should have been 4.
Yeah,
because of if Bournemouth can come to Old Trafford and score 3 goals without us scoring 1, it just shows the state of the club, how poor like the club is right now. I know we're bad. I know we know we're bad, but it seems like they find new heights of.
I don't even find it as new anymore. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I think football now, we take everything game by game, but actually, I still look at stuff in a run of games, like 5, 10, 15 games. I can't look at it game by game. And from beginning of season, we've seen that, like, the way football is now, it's not the big names. that does it now. Football wins. It's football on the pitch that wins. And even though Bournemouth's football wasn't being implemented or it wasn't working out at the start of the season, over the last few weeks, it's starting to click. 100%. Ours is still developing. It's something we've been saying since, and it's just not quite there. So you now add the football identity not being there, in addition to people not working as hard as they should, or just facing hungrier players. It's what you're gonna get. It's what you're gonna get, whether you're home or away. People can come to your own house and show you. So yeah.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I just laughed in it. So after the game, I laughed. I can't want to be angry anymore.
Unless you want to cry, bro.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing else that I could like. There's nothing else to be. We're just gonna be repeating ourselves week after week when it comes to United. And as I said, the scary thing is that that's our easiest fixture until the end of the year. So I don't know where we're gonna get it.
No, but we still points though. We still points. So it doesn't need to be easy or hard. We still points. We know how to still points. So
which is crazy.
We'll be
and
cool.
This is the question I was gonna ask you. For me personally, it's damage limitation. Regardless, I'll leave them there until the end of the season. But given like the fixtures that's coming up, do you think they can possibly pull the trigger before Christmas?
So somebody at work asked me this about 3 weeks ago. So Jamie, that we went to the Fulham game with, he asked me about Ten Hag, and I was like, what I see as the cut-off mark as to what helps him or what can be the defining moment is how his performances are by the time that Sir Ratcliffe deal goes through. Because I think once he comes, I think there will be some change. So if he's having a good run up until then, I think he'll be fine. But if things are going shit by the time they do complete that reorganization, I think he's gone. I think they will sack him. I think literally, because he asked me in line with Sancho. Yeah. So Sancho might outlive him if the team's doing badly and that 25% sell goes through. But yeah, I don't understand anything anymore. So I just accept that if they want to keep him, they should keep him. If they want to let him go. Everything's a shambles and I don't understand anything. So I just take it.
I won't be surprised because according to the reports that we're reading, that Sir Ratcliffe, it will be taken over like the football side of things. I won't be surprised if he's watching everything now and working in the background to try and replace him.
Yeah,
I won't be surprised. But at the same time, maybe they've had conversations and maybe he has reassurance. Who knows, really? But it's clear to see that he's struggling.
Yeah,
and despite him saying that he hasn't lost the changing room, he might not have lost the whole of the changing room, but it's glaring to see you've lost parts of the changing room, because you can't have one. And he's come out and say this team can't be consistent. Why can't the team be consistent? Because there's no way you can perform in 1 minute the way you did against Chelsea, and all of a sudden pull up this kind of performance.
But the problem, I think, sometimes is deceiving. It's deceiving when we play an opponent that maybe isn't working as hard, and we can outstrength them. We can play better than them. But then we play a hungry team like Bournemouth that are going to run more than us. So actually, we looked good against Chelsea. Yeah. But if you gave Chelsea the legs that Bournemouth had, they might have beaten us as well. So sometimes we can't do like for like. Yeah. Automatically like that. So,
but if it's like, how is this teams? If it's the same thing, teams outrunning us. Bear in mind, this team's kind of like Newcastle. The way Newcastle outrun us. Newcastle played with the same formation for how long? Previous to the game that they played us. How is it possible that they're outrunning your team week in, week out? So what do you tell them?
No, even a part of it, you're right. Sometimes I look at it like, I don't even look at the manager. I'm like, actually, the players now, how hungry are you? Right? I look at myself maybe 8 years ago when I was playing 11 aside. I was young. I was all of this stuff. I'll make those runs because I just wanted to. Now, at my age now, you ask me to make that run? Yeah, I'll pretend. I'll pretend like I'm making that run. And I think some of these Newcastle players, they're in positions they've never been in before. Right? These are heights that they probably never pictured for their life. Right? So the harder they work, they can. It's realistic now that they can touch things that they never thought they could. Right. And you're now at a club that can send billions, subject to fair play. And actually, I'm trying to keep my position because they could buy someone in summer and I have to move to Sheffield United or West Ham type of situation. So I see these players as just being a lot hungrier than us. And United are United. We haven't changed. Like, it's not a new thing. Because people are thinking, I'm going to come and cry because we lost 3-0 to Bournemouth at home. Last season, how many times it wasn't every other week? Okay, last season we were good at home, right? Yeah. The season before, every other week they're saying, this person hasn't been United in 20 years at this. This person hasn't been there in 40 years. So all of that's been wiped out anyway. There are a couple teams that still need to clean theirs, but all of that's been wiped out since. So it's not a new thing this season. Because we've been getting points doesn't mean we've been good. The Everton game, the Wolves, exactly. So it's all of that stuff.
The only Premier League game this season that we played well is probably the Chelsea game.
Yeah, the Chelsea game we actually looked dominant.
That's the only game that we won that you can say that they deserve to.
And it probably speaks volumes about Chelsea as well, as opposed to how good we were. You get me?
Yeah, it's true. So it's and I think just touching on what you're saying is about the players, and I think you're totally right because some managers sometimes it's easier for them to go into a changing room full of like youngsters or like without big name players because it's easier for them to believe in your philosophy or your ways of working, whatever it is, rather than like players that with egos. So
with egos is different.
Struggling with these players, and the ones they've decided to keep, I'm not sure whether they're helping him out.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure. And to be fair, he has to take massive responsibility because the ones that you've also brought in, they have not lived up to expectations.
His man management must be shit. Like my view is that his man management is shit. Because why are you falling out with someone every other couple of weeks? It's only you. You're the only person that's been around in this world that you're falling out with everyone.
You know what? With that, I don't totally put that on him. I'll be honest with you because I feel like there's that United, they've created such a toxic environment over the last how many years that the players have always won the battle with the managers.
True. But now I look at the person I picture it that takes me out that belief. Well, I don't know these people personally, so it's just my thought. But you got someone like Varane that just looks like the ultimate professional. It looks like he's falling out with him.
Yeah, but then I think he has a battle every time someone gets dropped out of the team. Which, if it was any other manager, you wouldn't get that. I mean, it makes sense because Varane, you can't stay fit. When you do come on, we're not getting the same Varane that we got in Real Madrid, but you are still giving every now and then you give us good performance. You and Martinez had a great run last year, fair enough. But even when those you're putting those run together, you get injured, and then on top of that, we know Ari's not the best. But Ari's now come in and worked hard. So what message does it send when
you can just come back in straight away without fair play?
And I think that's the issue. A lot of them are crying because they're not playing, and the manager's got to stand by his decision. Look, this man has come in and is playing well. You can't just walk straight back into the team. Everyone's got to and that's why I would say with the players in United, everyone's had an opportunity. Everyone. It's not as if you was playing great before you got injured. You wasn't. Everyone's had an opportunity. No one has put a stamp on their place. The only person that plays week in, week out is Bruno, and maybe he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't. The reason why I think he probably uses Bruno's, as much as people are frustrated with the way he plays, going forward without Bruno, we're clueless. He's the only one that makes things happen.
With the way we play football, it makes sense for Bruno to be there. If we're looking at a different type of football, like the Man Cities or the Arsenal type of football, I wouldn't put Bruno personally. You offer me him in those squads, I probably wouldn't take him. But he makes sense in what we are.
And this is the problem with the manager, because if you look at the other teams, their setup is obviously there's certain players that are indispensable in the team that you're thinking that they've got to play week in, week out if they're fit. But then when they are not around, you should have a functioning player that can fit in. We don't have that. If a player is injured, because of how we play, we can't just slot players in and out.
But that's my issue now with the managers. That why can't you switch it up? It's sad, and I say this comparing this to when we used to play 7-a-side, or even that last game we played 7-a-side during one of the summers, and looked at it first half, and I was like, guys, I don't think this is working. We're gonna make this slight tweak, and make the slight tweak. You make it happen, right? But if you can only play one single way, then bro, you might as well come out. Let me be manager.
I think he can play more. We've seen that he's played a different way in Ajax, but he's been stubborn.
Yes.
And that's stubborn.
I didn't even know how we were playing against Bournemouth because I was seeing Maguire in the box too many times. I was confused. I was like, you are not doing inverted Maguire. Like, no, stop it. Or whatever you're doing. I don't want to hear no funky formation.
Cool. But yeah, look, that's United. I think Ham actually sent a message.
I was gonna read it, but it's long. It's long.
Let me just see what he said. Thoughts on Arsenal after.
Don't worry, we'll pause it. We'll pause it for the video. We'll edit this out.
Arsenal scored. I thought the boys were brilliant. Sorry, after Villa scored, I thought the boys was brilliant. Up until the front three, who I thought as a trio were below par. Saka probably the only player that did a little bit more than the other two, but not good enough from them, especially when other departments were functioning well. So Liverpool on the man of the match display against dangerous and lively Watkins. I thought Saliba marshalled him perfectly and continues to show why he's the best CB in the league. I'm going to ask you a question about that. 1 second. Abbott's again put on a solid display, going from strength to strength. We created enough chances in this game to not only get back into the game, but to win it. More clinical in front of goal, and we'll win this game 2 or 3-1. Disappointing result. Well, very, very good performance against a high-flying Villa, who just completely nullified City, but couldn't do that against us. We created chance after chance, but couldn't convert. And the controversial ones, which is the penalty on Jesus, is a penalty no matter how soft it was. That's Ham's fault. And the handball is 6 of
one, half a dozen of the other.
By the letter of the law, is handball, but it's fucking harsh. Yeah. So yeah, that's his fault. But let's go into the controversial. In terms of the game, there's no point else going into the game because I just read that out. Arsenal was definitely the better side.
100%.
Not like, and I think exactly what Ham said. I totally agree. Straight after Villa scored, Villa just looked tired throughout the whole game. They were making mistakes all over the place. But the only thing is, Arsenal didn't actually wet the keeper. As much as they were getting chances, they weren't even shot a target. Only shot
the Odegaard one. I can remember that one.
He didn't even have to make a great save because I think
it
was a great save because the keeper anticipated him hitting it there. But apart from that, they weren't hitting the targets.
I can't remember much.
But in the controversial ones, I think I messaged you in regards to like.
Because
you watched it. What's your thoughts on it?
As soon as I saw it, I thought penalty. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I saw it, so obviously I was out. So I was watching the match and then popped out at half time, and then you messaged me and was like penalty, and I was like, oh, shit. And you're like, you don't think it's a penalty? Yeah. But when I watched it back, I was just as soon as I saw it, I was just like, that's a penalty. I can't argue for it not being a penalty because if we're saying, do you think I think it's a foul, right? So if I think it's a foul, automatically it must be a penalty. Yeah. And that's my view. I've left this whole view of soft because once we start doing soft, medium, hard, that's where all the discussions arise from, right? That's where everyone gets upset and not upset. But if we see it as a foul, Jesus was trying to control the ball. He's kicked the back of his leg, which has an impact on him. It's a foul, so it's a penalty. And
my argument was they're comparing it to the Palace one. Did you see the Palace one?
I saw the Palace one.
And I don't think it's the same. The reason why I don't think it's the same with the Palace one is Jesus was trying to the ball was in the air. This guy was trying to both kick the ball in the air. The Palace one is just straightforward. He just whacked him at the back of the.
Yeah,
they're not identical.
People like to compare stuff, and
that's what annoys me. I was like, stop comparing. It's not the same.
So I don't blame you because when I'm doing something and someone wants to argue and they use the wrong example, I'm like, you're done, because I'm not going to listen to anything else you've said.
You know what I mean?
Because
it's not the same. So like that's what annoyed me about it.
Yeah.
So comparing it to that one, that's totally for me.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah,
But they're not.
I'm like that.
I know what a lot of Arsenal fans are like. They compare. Even I told you, even after the Newcastle game, the amount of images of pictures of like, different games that they've sent me about it's the same as someone pushing
And
Gabriel.
do you know what annoys me as well? We have confirmed and agree that there's no consistency. So we just have to look at everything independently or else it gets boring. We know there's no consistency, so park that to the side.
Yeah, 3 weeks on from that Newcastle game, they were still comparing it with other.
Only 3 weeks. Wait till next summer, you still be
I
getting
know, like,
pictures.
I know some United fans can be frustrated, so I'm not going to try and say it's only Arsenal fans, but bro, you guys need to give it a fucking break. No, it's a joke. Like, when you lose a game, it's
Oh my
the
god.
ref.
It's everyone in the world. It's everyone.
Always be everyone else. Like, think you concentrating why a goal wasn't scored. 'Cause
Yeah.
in those 2 games that you've lost, a goal wasn't scored.
Yeah.
And it's not as if you didn't get a chance to score a goal. Then we could talk about the ref. Do you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
guys haven't scored a goal. You haven't put the ball in the back of the net.
It's
First
true.
and foremost.
It's true.
Think
And
about
that's,
that
yeah.
first. But the Jesus one, look, as you're rightly so, he did touch him. I mean, you can say it's harsh, but he did touch him. But I think my initial thoughts is stop comparing it. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. And I do understand how you can get, so as I said, if someone brings the wrong argument initially, I'm like, actually, shut up.
And for me, well, the reason why I even thought it wasn't at first is because both of them put their foot up, and I felt Douglas Luiz, as he realised that
He's-
his ball touches the leg, his leg first, he was trying to bring his hold up his leg, but his leg was higher up already. Because Jesus touched the ball and he was on his leg.
Yeah, because
on his
Jesus
way
has already
down,
pretty much controlled the
on
ball
his
in
way
it.
down, that's when his leg touched Douglas Luiz. So that's why I'm thinking. But if they give it, I won't be upset.
Yeah,
If they didn't
yeah.
give it, I'm not upset either way because I don't. But I just don't think it was enough to send the ref to the
Yeah.
especially if the ref didn't give it.
Yeah.
And the handball, if he touches hand, there's not goal. It's as simple.
It's
that.
as simple as that. I think where the argument is the Matty Cash aspect. I can't lie. Once it became a bit too long, that pause, I was like, I don't even fucking care. I'm gonna stop watching this. Like watching that replay, because sometimes the replays are just too much. So I was just like, okay, you said it's touch Havertz's hand. Because of that reason, it should be disallowed. It's touch Cash's hand. And to be honest, if it did touch Cash's hand first, then are we saying it should be a penalty? But I guess it depends on, because that's another thing I said. Remember when they're arguing that, oh, it's not a hand, things shouldn't be handball, right? Yeah. So if they've now followed your suggestion that not everything should be a handball, so that means Cash's one may not be a handball, but Havertz's is. So that's why I keep saying we have to remove this subjectivity, because 2 weeks ago everyone was arguing that handball shouldn't be handball, but now it is handball. It doesn't work like that.
I think that rule is like that one. They're being consistent with that. If he touches your hand and you
have to, it's the only way it works.
Because if we're going to compare once again with the Liverpool game when Palace scored and he touched someone's hand. I can't remember who scored and he touched his hand before he scored. So
is it the Edward goal?
Is it Edward?
I think so.
Yeah, or even
I didn't watch that one live. I listened on the radio.
One, he touched someone's hand.
Yeah. That's the only way it works, because then people can stop just talking. Like,
but, look, for me. Look, Arsenal played well. I think Arsenal. I think they should have won the game.
I thought they were solid. Yeah.
Should have won. Not even draw the game.
Yeah. I thought they were solid.
Because there was like, and bearing in mind what Villa did to City. Arsenal played, they went up there and played really well, and they should have won the game, but they didn't. So focus on why you didn't win the game, and let us stop complaining, thinking there's a conspiracy theory.
The things I've seen on the internet, I'm just like, what has Arsenal done? No, like literally, you have to think about it, because what have Arsenal done that everyone's against them? Like, why do you think everyone's against Arsenal? I've seen people list PFA, FFA, FBI, MI5. What have you done that everyone needs to be against you? You're the only team in the world.
I think everyone's against.
Oh, it's tiring, man. It's tiring.
They lost. They should have won. I totally agree. They're a better team.
100%.
but obviously they didn't. The only other thing I was gonna ask you actually, we'll get Anne's thought on it next week. Actually, I'm not gonna be here, but just remember to ask Ham, please. It's the best centre back in the league. So my best view, I think, personally for me, I don't care how people want to spin it, on form or not on form.
And I haven't thought about it at all. So as you're telling me, I will analyze it as you say.
My best centre back in 3 right now, in this order, I still think Van Dijk is the best centre back in the league. Then Diaz, then Saliba. Those are the 3. I think Saliba eventually will become the best centre back in the league. After this season, whatever it is, it will eventually be the best. But I still think Van Dijk is still the best centre back. My reason for Van Dijk still being the best centre back in the league is because, in terms of his knowledge and the way he reads the game, I still think he reads it better than anyone else. He gets exposed a lot more than any other centre backs I know in the league, because the way Liverpool plays, their fullbacks don't stay. They're constantly going, and he's having to always. When I see him, he's having to always covering for like everyone within that back line. Pretty much, if he doesn't play, Liverpool are in trouble. 1-on-1, you still don't get much plays that go past him. If someone goes past Van Dijk, we're all going to make a big noise about it. The only thing I don't like about Van Dijk, he likes to stay too clean. He doesn't get dirty. That's what annoys me about him. He doesn't like the slide tackle.
He doesn't do it often.
He doesn't do it often. He just doesn't like to get dirty. He doesn't. And for him personally, he probably think I don't need to.
Yeah, if I'm reading the game and everything well, then I don't need to go to ground.
Diaz, he doesn't have the attributes of this other 2. He doesn't have. So he's not as quick. He's not as fast as this Van Dijk or Saliba. He's just pure mind, and he's good and very good on the ball. And I don't know whether it's because of City that makes him look good.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that if you've got Rodri ahead of you, does that automatically change the game? My
point exactly. So what that it might be the case, but every time I see him, I've never seen him like out of place. You know what I mean? I always see him in control of the back line, good in the air, good on the ball. He's one of those centre backs, kind of like, I'm not trying to compare him to, but like the Cannavaro. You don't have to be quick like the Terry, but they read the game very well. They'll put their body on the line and those kind of things. That's what he kind of reminds me of. And Saliba, he's got everything in abundance, but is he there yet? I don't think so. See what I mean? Because I still think he gets a lot of protection with the way Arsenal. Because if you realise they've got Rice in front of him. Their wing backs don't fly like any other wing backs. I mean, their fullback. They're still like, they've got like Ben White is still there. And one thing that always makes me, I'm not too sure whether he's the best yet, is because he always plays on that right hand side. Even when someone else comes in, he still plays on that right hand side. And when someone is not comfortable moving to the left, I'm not too sure whether you are the best centre back in the league, because Van Dijk, you can tell him move to the right, play on the left, or whether you're right footed or not. I'm not too sure how comfortable you'll be if they put you out your comfort zone. So I'm not saying he's not eventually gonna be, because the guy is amazing. And people now got. I don't want people to start making noise. He's amazing.
No, make noise.
Make noise if you
come into the comments. Come and attack him.
He is the best centre back in the league at the moment.
I
still think he's Van Dijk. That's just my. They can argue with Diaz, fair enough, but I just don't think there's a better centre back in the Premier League than Van Dijk.
Yeah, I take your words and like obviously take on your comments, because as you said that, it just made me realise that actually I don't think I'm watching as many full games of other teams as I am of Arsenal and United.
Yeah.
So as soon as you said it, I was like, actually, I haven't watched much of Diaz at all this season, like full-on games. So I can't even comment on him. Van Dijk, maybe I'm not watching as many. Obviously, he still has that aura. If he's not there, Liverpool are going to suffer. But I think just because of probably the amount of time I watch Arsenal playing, Saliba just impresses me and continues to impress me. Maybe he hasn't been put in the worst case scenarios for him to fail. Because even in like very like tough situations, I've seen him come out on top and do very well. but maybe I haven't seen him in the worst of scenarios to say, actually, okay, you've kicked the tires now, and I know you can handle all different kinds of situations. But yeah, if it's gonna be close with anyone, it is gonna be Van Dijk, and I'll keep an eye out more, especially over this festive period, just to see the performances between them.
So you don't have an answer for you at the moment.
Nah. Like, it wasn't something I came on
Yeah. Now, to be fair,
with in mind, and I've been impressed by Saliba, but I don't want to just be weighed on the fact that because I've seen him play more. So yeah,
I think what you are right about is that every single test that has been thrown at him, he has passed with like flying colours.
Yeah.
But we can also say that with Van Dijk as well when he first came on. Until you can start to see, it became volatile out of nowhere. For I think it was a season.
It was after his injury. It was after his injury. Things happen. Yeah.
But even now, as I said, I watched him against Palace yesterday. I thought it was really good. They can't like. I'm saying
the parts I did watch, I thought he was really good.
He's always mopping up for them at the back. It's always him that is mopping up. I feel like he's controlling the whole of.
Yeah, and he's always done that. He's done that for a long time. So like, I can't argue with your statement on that.
Not saying, as you said, every test that's been put against Saliba, he's always passed. But I'm just not ready to say it's the best. By next season, let's see how he performs.
Which is fair. Because you do come with people saying a lot of things very quickly, and you're like,
I'm just not ready to say, he's 100% the best centre back. That's not for me, bro. Like, I'm not there yet. And when he does get there, we'll come back and revisit.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones. Let's add to our list for the end of the season. I'll make sure I look out. Now, we don't need to add Ham to this because he's always going to say Saliba anyway. So I will keep an eye out.
I'm already said it anyway that he's the best centre back in the league. So, but yeah, we'll see. Cool. All right, let's just round up the games, and then in regards to where should we start? Cool. Liverpool obviously won yesterday. I watched the game. I can just give a quick summary. Palace was a better team until they got that red card.
Oh yeah, it switched when they got the red card.
Yeah, like they were unfortunate. It was a harsh yellow card.
Yeah, I thought the first one was really harsh.
Yeah,
and
I don't think I didn't even realize it was giving him. I didn't even realize it gave him a second yellow. I thought it gave him a second yellow for kicking the ball away. But I realized, he didn't kick the ball away.
Yeah. He gave him a yellow card before that.
I was shocked that it was sending him off. So I couldn't believe it. And obviously that changed the game.
Oh, that changed the game entirely.
You give them a sniff, Liverpool are gonna take it. Even without that yellow, that red card, Liverpool were always gonna try and come back towards the end of the game anyway. Well, that changed the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
And they were unfortunate because without Olise and Eze, they played really well.
Yeah. No, they did really well. It's just a shame, but dynamics always going to change when there's a red card, especially against Liverpool. So
cool. Brighton, Burnley.
Dead, bro. Dead. Brighton. I could never have imagined Burnley leaving there with a point, because Brighton are just not they're not a Premier League team, right? Like, good, all company trying to play football, all of that stuff, but it's not. It might be one of those ones they get relegated, they improve on it even further, and then come back and stay up. But at the moment, they're just not that team. And they're Brighton now. They shouldn't be doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think that's what I think with teams sometimes. When there's a level of expectation, that's when teams tend to crumble sometimes. Like, it's all good doing well when no one expects it. But when there's now a level of expectation, like, to fulfill that is hard. And that
You
see that from Brighton. They're struggling to do that because we would have thought they would, like, look, they're not far away from that, but the Europa League is definitely, like, also a major factor as well. So
I just don't, because they've won like one out of their last 8 or something league games, or 2 or something. But the funny thing, they're still up there, which is a bit weird. So they started off season well, but
we've lost how many?
Yeah, and I think that's everyone's beaten everyone, and that's what's making the Premier League absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Obviously, Sheffield United beat Brentford. They have hope. Chris Wilder?
No, they ain't got hope. They ain't got hope. No, he's not going to keep them up. He's going to, like, obviously he's going to try and do his bit, but he's not going to keep them up.
They're going to have that new manager bounce for, like, first couple games.
They will improve. They will improve. They won't be getting spanked 5, 6, 7, 8 every week. but they ultimately won't stay up. And I think he even acknowledges that they probably won't stay up, but you give it a good go, they'll definitely improve 100%.
Cool. If anyone's running a risk to compete with them, will be Nottingham Forest.
What, to go down?
Yeah, like because
Yeah.
recently the form has just dipped.
But what I've realised now, as much as we used to say it was just between 3 or 4 teams, it's a lot, because people are going on runs.
Yeah.
We're blinking. Bournemouth are winning 3 games. We're blinking. Fulham are winning 2 games. Like, things are changing really quickly. So, people can be dragged in, but ultimately I still think Sheffield United barely go down. But other people can be dragged into this easily or disappear quite easily.
Cool. Then we have Everton beating Chelsea.
Easy, standard. Did you ever doubt it?
You know what the thing is? Chelsea is so inconsistent. I thought Everton would win, but I also didn't know what to expect from Chelsea.
No. This was this week's banker. This was this week's banker. This was this week's No. Look at it. Everton outplayed us. We outplayed Chelsea. I'm doing boy math here, boy football math. It didn't surprise me at all. Or maybe I didn't think Everton were going to win 100%, but it didn't even surprise. I didn't even lift an eye. I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. Then obviously we talked about Fulham. I think I put in the group today. Since we've been to Fulham, we've scored bare goals. We went to Fulham and
Wolves. Yeah. Since then,
who did it beat 5-0 last week?
Nottingham Forest, wasn't it?
Forest, yeah. And then I'm surprised. Forest, I
can take West Ham.
Well, West Ham.
I was thinking maybe a cheeky 1-1. 5. Nah, and Fulham don't score goals.
Yeah, they don't. I don't. We get it.
Yeah.
Ham's probably gonna hurt this. So when we was at their game, was it what Monday was it? 2 Mondays.
2 Mondays ago, yeah.
I was sitting. You were sitting next to your colleague. I was sitting next to Ham, and I was like, "What's the last time Imina scored a goal?"
Yeah. He heard you.
Me and Ham was having a loss. I was like, "Has this guy scored over 20 goals in the Premier League?" And Ham was like, "Come on, he." And since then, I think he scored what? He scored 2 in the last game.
Yeah, definitely scored 1 today.
Yeah, and then Iwobi, he's just going on a mad form. So now, well done to Fulham though. And you know what? I have to give the manager praise as well, because it was getting tempted by the
Saudi and losing Mitrovic as well.
Turned out a lot of money, and I thought they would just be battling relegation because they was losing Mitrovic.
Bro,
I thought that's a lot. Of
even if I had turned Saudi down for the whole summer, as soon as Mitrovic goes, I'd be like, Uncle, please.
Yeah, so now I have to give him credit.
Yeah, good on him.
Also, got to give credit to Luton, but this is the Premier League, like.
Oh yeah.
There's no, you don't get any bonus point for working hard.
100%, but I respect them because, as I said from beginning of season, Luton are not meant to be in this league. Like, they are here to enjoy the experience and then duck out. But you need to understand, I think Luton have only lost by more than 1 goal, maybe twice this season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
While people are eating 8, they've only lost by more than 1 goal twice this season, and they have played all the big boys.
Yeah,
you get me. So
crazy. You have to give them credit. It's just
against Arsenal, see that fight, 4-3, City 2-1, Liverpool 1-1, Luton, well done. You can go back to the Championship with pride. Honestly, with pride. We're here.
There's still a lot of time for them.
We'll throw you a party.
Obviously now Everton are like 4 points away from like relegation now, which is crazy because they had. If they didn't get that 10 points deducted, they'll be, I think, 10.
Yeah, easy. That's what I'm telling Ham. Everton are a different team. Stop abusing them the way you do. They're a different team now.
The last game is obviously the game that just finished today with Spurs and Newcastle. That Song's performance has put a dagger in my fantasy team.
That's why I wanted Perro to score the 4th goal. I don't know.
I was gutted, man.
Yeah.
That performance.
I have to write off this league this week because my vice captain, I didn't set my vice captain, and then Haaland didn't play, so it's a write off. But
look, this is a big week in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're playing Bayern. I don't think, to be fair, we need a miracle to qualify. And Newcastle, I really want Newcastle to qualify.
It's out of their hands though, so yes, realistically.
The only thing is, PSG are away, I think.
It doesn't matter. You know what? There's certain teams that they just respect PSG a bit too much. Newcastle could do what they did because they don't know better. They just don't know better. But Dortmund have been playing well, so we'll see. But it being out of Newcastle's hands, I don't expect them to go through.
They lost. They lost 3-2, 10 men because they had red cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 10. Yeah, I can't see Newcastle going through. I want them to because it's all good for England, but yeah, I can't see it happening.
Cool. All right, look. I think that's it this week. Ham, if you're listening, we've read out your message because I know Ada, you told him in the group that we did.
I told him we're finished. Because he sent another essay about United. It's long. It's long.
Well, he sent another about
Yeah. We already finished. We already passed United.
United are shit. Ten Hag is on borrowed time. Now I can't think of anyone that's out there off the top of my head that should come in and take over. But when I watched you guys yesterday for the full 90 minutes, I couldn't help but think surely somebody else couldn't do a worse job. The writing seems to be on the wall. Depending on how Bayern and Liverpool goes, which I expect to be nothing less than 3-0 across both games. Bruno done right thing by dodging that Anfield smoke. Smart boy, but big boy. Big up the manager of the month, goal of the month, player of the month crew. How the hell did you lose 3-0 to Bournemouth at home? How and not only lose, but Bournemouth looked better coach, played good stuff, defended.
It's not a new thing, boy.
Executed a well put together game plan, whereas United looked like 11 players and a clueless ball manager that's figuring shit out on the figuring shit on the fly, and that's the worrying part, that every team United seems to play apart from Chelsea look better coached with lesser players, and that can't happen.
It can happen and it's been happening. So
cool. Yeah, look, we'll be back next week. I'm not sure. I don't think at the moment. I don't think I'll be around. So I'll see you guys the week after. Big game next week. Liverpool United. Prediction, Ade?
I don't. Why are you asking me?
How many do you think Liverpool?
Oh, how many? Okay, I like that one. I like that one. I think who's at home?
Liverpool.
6-1.
6-1. I think it'll be like 3-0. They'll try and work hard.
So we're not going to score any goals. Not even penalty. Okay.
That team can't score. What I saw yesterday. Alright, look, thanks people. Thanks for listening. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share this with friends and family. And let's get your thoughts on everything we talked about today. Do you think Arsenal complain a lot? Do you think they blame the whole world for them losing?
Bloody whole world.
Do you think Saliba's the best centre back in the Premier League? What else? Did you think it was a penalty? Did you think Abbott Scott should have been disallowed? And when do you think Ten Hag is going to get sacked? Before Christmas or after Christmas? Let's hear what your thoughts are. Thank you.
Peace.